first I want to just say a few words of like a Dzogchen teaching. So I think as a teaching, as Dzogchen teaching, it is clearly the most direct and the most profound teaching, and also in a way it's most simple. Simple does not necessarily mean everybody will get it. There are a lot of simple things people don't get it, right? Because we are interested in more complicated things. So we are busy more looking at the complicated things. So simple ones we don't get it. But it is clearly very simple and direct. And particularly, I want to talk a little bit about, as part of the end of the year. So that every end of the year, we always, I think most of people are interested in something like looking at, reflecting at the year. What is that we wanted to clear? What is that something we wanted to start new? So that if you look at that point of view, if you look at like, let's say, every manifestations of our thoughts, basically, bad mood to unproductive thoughts, negative thoughts, emotions, chartering minds, obsessive thoughts to addictions, anywhere from mental addictions like just kind of worrying for no reason, just so used to worrying, and to addictions to eating bad or doing bad things or doing something. So basically addictions of actions of the body, addictions of actions of the speech, that you're trying to want to be nice to somebody, but you always end up saying something not that nice. You wanted to be nice to yourself, but you always end up not being nice to yourself. So addictions of your mind, speech, and your body. So anywhere from the mood to actions or behavior. So if you look, all of it, basically all of it simply is just one category. It's just a distorted mind's manifestation. Outcome is it is like an outcome of disconnectedness. That's it. So basically, in that there might be so many categories we can talk about. Basically, I think it covers from the wrong view, bad mood to bad actions. Everything. So if you look in this year, particularly if you look at your own life in this year, you can look, okay, what is that personally? What are my thoughts, feelings, emotions, addictions that I wanted to overcome? And how, as a very simple practice of Dzogchen, how it can help you to overcome. It's a simple, I think it's a simple point. So now, as far as the Dzogchen practice is concerned, the most simple message is that if you are able to be in yourself, be in the present moment, be with that stillness, silence, spacious mind. If your own inner awareness is simply being aware of these qualities, your attention is toward that, then that present, that awareness is so strong, it cuts everything. It cuts the wrong view, it cuts the bad mood, it cuts the obsessive thoughts, it cuts the negative thoughts, it cuts those unwanted emotions, it cuts those behavior, addictions, or even the sense of this energy of craving to do something or eat something, because it's all are basically a manifestation of some sense of dissatisfaction, a feeling of not complete. If everything is like that, if you don't feel complete in something, then you seek for something else to complete. If you do feel complete in something, you don't want it to be replaced by anything which is similar to that, because you are complete. So if you are feeling complete in yourself, you don't want any substitution to be trying to find yourself by doing something which is not necessary to do. So basically, that a single approach, in the Tibetan tradition, we sometimes say Rigpa Changde. Rigpa Changde means only following the clear mind. A single approach of following the clear mind. So that, I think that's kind of very simple. So basically, it's like this. There is you, in which there is this what I refer as the three pills. There's inner stillness, inner silence, spaciousness, and your awareness is drawing toward attention toward that and recognizing yourself, self-recognition, self-realization, a present moment, being present, being aware in that moment. That single awareness is able to cut everything else, what the list that I just gave is able to cut. If you tell me that, oh, I did try, but it's not cutting, then that means clearly it's not you did what you said you're doing, because you are not doing, because you think you are being in that place. Instead, there is a smart ego who is claiming to being in that state, but it's really drawing more attention to all the things what you're not supposed to draw attention. You're engaging still and saying, I am doing the right practice. The one who is saying, I am doing the right practice, it's doing the wrong practice. Because the I is still strongly present there, which is responsible for those problems. The absence of that I, nothing, if there is no I, there's nothing I can do. And if there's nothing I can do, no problem can exist. So basically, so that simply is just like a single approach. So if you are able to turn your direction fully to your being, through being, through the stillness, silence, spacious, then it cuts everything. So that's the number one approach. So this is not instruction that we're going to do a little short practice afterward. So this is not instruction only for the practice, but this is instruction for your life. So, any time when these things are troubling you, that's what you're trying to do. So if you are able to do it, it will clearly cut. It's a matter of time, it will clearly cut those things, because nothing is fitting. If you look, any thought, why one single thought is successful to stay the rest of the day? Why one single emotion is able to, stay a whole night? Why one single addiction is able to destroy your life? Because there is a support. These addictions are supported by the weakness. These thoughts are supported by another thought. It's like a washing hand, blooded hand with blood. You clear the first blood, then second blood is there with you. So you don't have a clear water to wash your bloody hand. What you need, not a blood to wash your bloody hand. What you need is the clear water to wash your bloody hand. So it's the same way all these addictions and things, what do you need? Clear mind to wash it, not another unclear mind to wash those mind. That doesn't work. I probably by now, we all know it doesn't work, right? And if you still think, it did not work until now, maybe it might work in the future, I'm going to tell you, just forget about it. Just forget about it. It's not going to work. All the masters in the past, everybody said it doesn't work. So maybe we don't have to listen to them. We can try to experience ourselves. So by now we have enough experience. It doesn't work. That pattern of mind needed to be cut. But how to cut? That's the whole point. How to cut is to draw attention to that inner being, inner stillness, inner silence, inner spaciousness. So it's very clear that every thought is able to stay longer because it's supported by thought. Every affliction is able to stay longer because this smart ego is supporting. Smart egos, that thought stops when you draw attention to that silence, that stillness. So that is what everybody should try to do. Let's say, as a result of, if everybody is not the same, so those who are doing practices not that often, you kind of have not strong experiences with that, then my suggestion is first trying to do that. New practitioner does not mean not good enough, or the old practitioner does not mean you do better job, because it's not a wine, right? Right? So it's basically, if you are new, you might have more luck. That's possibilities there. If you're old, you might have more old pattern that you think you are practicing right, which is probably you have been doing wrong way and you think it's the right way. That could be a problem. So new and old, forget about it. So that's the beauty about the Dzogchen. It's not something. If it's an intellectual accumulation, then the time you're learning, you're thinking a lot, you're reading a lot, and those reading, thinking, collection of information makes you smarter to answer a lot of things. But this is not the thing. It's not the same here. The answer is not a lot of complication, intellectual theories. Answer is simply just being conscious of who you are. And simply trying to be conscious of who you are does not require so much thinking. So instead, it's the opposite. People who think a lot, or addicted to think a lot, or who believe thinking is the only way to resolve the problem, clearly a less chance to connect with the practice. People are more like a sensitive, more like artists, more like being more like in the moment, more grounded, are more likely to have connection to these practices. So don't worry about like being new and old. So if you're anybody here thinking, I'm new in these practices, so it does not matter. Okay. Now, let's say in case of this, the attention, you're trying to pay attention to yourself through that stillness, silence, spaciousness, but some of these addiction thoughts are still not going, like these pains are still not going, these confusions are still not going. Then if it's really not going, that means you're not capable of drawing attention inward, or drawing attention, connecting with that inner stillness and silence. Then what you wanted to do is you do want to pay a little attention. For example, your inner pain, for example, whatever the pain and confusion that you're feeling in your life, to have a little more compassion to that. Because somehow, truly able to draw full attention toward yourself, you're not capable, because you are drawing attention toward that pain. The ego, the fearful ego, the lost ego, the confused ego, distorted ego, it's trying to change its focus toward its clear aspect of self, but it's not capable of doing that. It's the pattern of looking back to the problem. It's like if you roll a paper for 100 years, and then if you open it, and when you leave the hand, it goes back. Why it goes back? Because that's how it's used to it. So if you're trying to draw attention to that more inner clearness, it's not staying, it's going immediately back. So it is going back. You don't have the strength to do that. So then if you're doing that, then you acknowledge it. So you work with that, rather than being against, rather than thinking, oh, I'm such a terrible practice, I'm trying to draw my mind to the clear place, but is always doing the wrong place. Don't think that way. So that, you see, the mind who is judging that, another problem there. Another problem. There's the third problem. So you thought, you have only one, you find out you have two. By the time you find out two, now you have realized you have three problems, you see. So you don't want it to do that. So rather you acknowledge that mind, saying, okay, since it's drawing attention to that pain and confusion, so let's try to bring the awareness into that. So it's like, as I always give example, that, draw attention to that conflict or pain of yours in a more compassionate way, in a more open way. So there's a two quality, more open way and more compassionate way. Like how you would treat your best friend or your favorite person in your family who is in pain. You will be, first of all, you will be available, present. You won't judge the person. You will not criticize the person. You will support the person. You will hold the person's hand. You will give a hug. You will listen. You will feel. You will connect. You will jump up and do anything in the moment, whatever is necessary, rather than trying to follow your own plan. You will follow the other person's plan. Same way. So you draw a little bit attention to your own, whatever that unresolved pain or confusion is, just simply draw attention to that. Open and carrying attention to that feeling, to that thought, to that emotion, to that addiction, to that physical pain, to that, a confusing situation. Just simply clear and compassionate attention toward that. That's your meditation. So your meditation turning inward and just being in the nature of mind, it seems not possible, at least not now. So, because your attention is always going away toward those pain. Now, you instead of being against it, you say, okay, I'm going to do it. Do it in this way. If you do it this way, then you're doing the right way. If you're not doing it this way, you're doing the wrong way. What are you doing the wrong way? What are you doing the wrong way? You would say, why I'm confused? You can be confused about your confusion. You can feel painful about feeling pain. So there's one you already have, another one you are adding on it. Every single emotions, you can feel that. I'm angry about getting angry. I'm sad about being sad. I'm upset about being upset. I'm confused about being confused. The first confusion is okay. Second confusion is you're adding it. Second sadness is unnecessary. Second anger is unnecessary. Second confusion is unnecessary. Second thought is unnecessary. All the second one is unnecessary. So instead of adding second, you bring that space to that feeling, thought, and emotion. Yeah, it's very simple. Very simple. If you think about taking care of yourself, loving yourself, I think that's what you wanted to do. That's how you do. The way you treat your good friends, you treat yourself the same way. So if you know how to treat very well your best friends, your family members, you treat the same way yourself that way. Just feel comfortable in your body. As our body is still, be aware and connect with that stillness. There is a big difference just being still than being aware and connecting with that stillness. There's a day and night differences. So just feel and connect with that stillness. Be aware of that stillness. Listen and hear the silence around us, within us. Again, just being silent and listening and feeling, connecting, there's a big difference. So just listen, hear, and feel and connect with that inner silence. Just be aware of that openness around and within you, and also be aware of that collective sense of openness. Through these three doors, find that unbounded space within. Rest in that nature of mind. If you're fully able to rest, it will help cut a lot of those wrong view, obsessive thoughts, emotions, addictions. Rest in that inner sacred space with full trust. Surrender yourself in that inner sacred space. Now, gradually draw your clear, open attention toward whatever that view, addictions, pain that you're feeling, it's still there. Just draw your attention toward that. Look at that. Observe that pain, addiction with the open eye, with boundless view, with a care, with a smile, with the presence, with the silence, with connection, like how you would sit with your best friend when you're trying to help, being there, being present, listening, not judging, being available, holding hand. Just for a moment, have compassion to your own addictions and pain. Be with it like being with your best friend. The best way you can be, the best way to be kind to yourself. The kindness will heal.